Welcome back, everyone. We are in Benin City, the capital of Edo State, and we've been talking to top contenders in the Edo governorship race. We've been talking economy, unemployment, and of course, they've been talking to us about their programs. We continue with the questioning now. Sulaiman, we were talking about the issues of job creation, taxation, and all of that. And one would be wondering, people talk about double taxation in Edo State. Are you curious about that issue?
I'd like to start off my question with the APC candidate. If you look at it, most of the federal workers and state workers in the state pay as much as 11% of their total salary as tax. They're asking the question, is this a fair rate? And if so, do you intend to retain the tax regime of this present government?
What we have done in Edo State is to follow the law. The tax laws of Nigeria are fair and they apply to every citizen in every state of the country. So payee rates are almost statutory and it's a national law. So there's nothing we're doing in Edo State that is different or ought to be different from what is going on in all other states. The basis for calculating payee tax is the same. What we have done in Edo State is just enforce the law, make sure that we're a lot more efficient in the way we collect our taxes. There is nothing from the Board of Inland Revenue that is there's no double taxation from the Board of Inland Revenue. The tax items are very clear. They're basically payee, withholding taxes, tax on land and land administration. It's there. The tax books are clear and they're transparent. You can Google and see what taxes are collected and by who. What is happening is illegal levies and extortion, which are being blamed on government as taxes. And these again are unfortunately in some cases outside the remits of the state government. But every time we get to know about it, that there are people who are imposing illegal levies, taxes and fines, most of these revenues do not come to the coffers of government. Edo State government has always taken action to stop them.
Have you been able to stop it?
Yeah, unfortunately, because it's inherited, this was the culture introduced by the PDP administration. It's difficult to curb, but we're working hard at it.
Let me come to Mr. Onaiwu. The thing about this is that for some, they say, silence please. The thing about this is that for many people in Edo State, they say, you can't hear me? You still can't hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Onaiwu. The thing about it is that for many in Edo State, they see people who go around collecting revenue or levies on behalf of the government. And if we get what Mr. Obaseki has told us, some of these don't get into the coffers. Do you have a solution that can work perfectly to see that some of these monies, if not all of them, get into the government's coffer?
Okay, thank you so much. The first thing we have to do is to look at the tax burden in Edo State. One, those collecting taxes in Edo State, those collecting taxes in Edo State, we have to look at how did they come about it? How did they get to be collecting taxes in Edo State? Because like what Pastor Isaiah Yamu said about local government being responsible for signage and stuff like that, we have to go back to that. We have to look at the laws that empowers local government to collect taxes. What I've seen in Edo State, the current government collect taxes from people. For instance, Ego local government, Ikpobaaka, and Uredo. And the local government council don't benefit from those taxes. And that is why those local government chairmen cannot fund their local government. Because if 10% of those taxes were being given to the local government, we won't have the problem of 18 months of non-payment of salaries. But the major thing we need to do is to improve on our infrastructure. Once you are able to improve on your infrastructure, more investors will come in and your tax burden will be increased. But right now, what we are getting, the taxes that those State people are paying, you cannot see the money being used for Edo people. You go everywhere, people are paying taxes, but you cannot see the value of those taxes that Edo people are benefiting from. For us, as a political party, our party is grassrooted. It's about the grassroots. We are going to review it to look at the possible way of Abga government to reduce the tax burden in Edo State. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Let me, if I may go to Pastor Ezeyamo before I come to you, the Labour Party candidate. Pastor Ezeyamo, are you corrupt?
No. No.
You were invited by the EFCC. The present government at the federal level says it wants to fight corruption. Can the people of Edo State trust you with their finances if you were elected governor, considering the fact that the economy is not at a very good state right now?
Thank you. Yes, I can be trusted. I've had public offices before, and I'm proud to say I have never been indicted. I have never been tried. The EFCC matter you are talking about was an invitation. I cleared my name, and I'm here. If truly I was involved, you know yourself that I would have had to refund that money, or I'll be taken to court. With due respect to the person who is making the APC candidate had a problem. Rather than clear himself, he went to court to restrain them. I went to EFCC. I didn't go to court to restrain them. I went to EFCC to clear my name. You know, I remember the DC family. They wrote a strongly worded petition, which they sent to the EFCC and sent to the House of Reps. Our friend did not go and clear himself. All he went to do was to go to court to restrain them. And it will interest you to note that this present government, their officials, have been invited to the EFCC over 70 times. The Commissioner of Finance, the PS Government House, the Accountant General, over 70 times they have been invited to come and explain all the things going on. In fact, if you give me the opportunity, I will give you statistics of mind-boggling corruption activities of this present government. So I have nothing to hide. I've been secretary to government. I've not been indicted. I've been chief of staff. I've not been indicted. I was Oshomole's DG. I was not indicted. And today, I'm the gubernatorial candidate of the PDP, and I'm not indicted.
Are we? Of course.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll come back to you, Mr. Arelugbe. I just want Mr. Obaseki to react to that. We will want a reaction from you to what Mr. Ezeyamo has just said.
Well, you see, in politics, you must separate facts from fiction. I do not understand what the claims being made by Mr. Ezeyamo. I think it's hogwash, and it's really nonsensical. Because in the matter he's talked about, I was not even invited by the EFCC. It has nothing to do with my person. It has, something to do with the company I'm on the board of, where a rogue investor decides to send a petition to the House of Assembly, to the National Assembly. And we said, if this is a contractual matter in a company I serve on the board, if there's an issue, go to court. But I never received summons. I was never summoned from by the FCC. Anybody can send any petition to the FCC. Anybody is free to send any petitions, but it's up to the authorities to review the petitions and see if it has any merits.
Thank you very much.
Just quickly,
I think this is for the audience. Very quickly here, we need some kind of decorum. I think this is a live debate, and we expect some decorum. If you obstruct your candidate's free speech, I think you just might be excused out of the hall, please.
I'll give Mr. Obaseki another moment. You did not answer fully the question about the corruption in the government you are serving. It says about 70 times you said that some members of the present government have been invited by the EFCC. Is the government you work for corrupt?
It is not corrupt. In fact, it's really funny that a person who served under the Gubernatorial administration and whose principal was convicted is talking about corruption. The issue here is under the PDP administration, where they controlled the EFCC and they controlled all the security apparatus in Nigeria, as a part of political victimization, they kept inviting commissioners and staff of this administration through the last 8 years when they were in government. But they could not find one thing, one basis for any conviction. That tells you how clean our books are, and we're ready to open them up.
Thank you. Let's allow